welcome to Talk Yarny to Me. I am your host, Odd Knits Adventure. You can find, well, just Odd Knits. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Odd Knits Adventure. And you can read my incredibly neglected blog at oddknit.wordpress.com. This is my little podcasty, vloggy part of the internet where I can knit and natter and yeah, and I hope that you will enjoy it. And anyone that's coming back, you're a bit silly because you're coming back. And anyone new, hello, and I hope you enjoy it. And thanks for watching. Today is August the 5th. My show notes are just to the side of the camera, so if I'm looking away, that's why. So yeah, today is the 5th of August. It's Sunday. I'm just chilling, and yeah, I'm drinking my tea like this, not because I'm posh or anything, but I decided to burn my finger earlier by pouring boiling hot water on it, and it hurts quite a bit. So I look a bit like an idiot, just kind of around doing this because it just hurts, and I have to keep like every 10-15 minutes going off to put it under some cold water for a bit. Yeah, not good. So yeah, let's get on with the show, shall we? What do you want to know? Finished objects, I suppose. Let's go with these first. In fact, they are on the list first. Ta-da! I finished, I don't know, when did I start these? Wednesday before last, I think. Yeah, it must have been the Wednesday before last I started these. And they're done! Oh, they are some fabulous socks, knit with 2mm needles. That tends to be my go-to sock needle. I've used Fish Lips Kiss Heel. I did toe up, and I added the Hermione's Everyday texture just to the front, as that is my style. And this, a 2x2 rib, and this was knit with, I've put the ball band away because I'm an idiot and my finger is really starting to sting now, so please bear with me. I knit this with Opal Frischer Fruchsaft, which I think is from their fresh and fruity range, in the colour 9363. It's 75/25 wool polyamide type of fair. This is my first time that I have used Opal. I've not used Regia either, so this is my first time using sort of a German brand of the sock yarn, and I enjoyed it. It's quite a toothy yarn. It's my sort of berry tones with orange and yellow. Who knew? I really like them. I haven't sewn the ends in. I should have mentioned that. I should probably mention this at the start of every episode. Those of I probably should have mentioned at the beginning of this episode, and I will hopefully try and add it to my spiel for the forthcoming episodes, that those of you with a nervous disposition and do not appreciate ends hanging around, not being sewn in, then this is not the show for you. So I may weave the end that's the cast off edge in. I won't do the toe. I'm going to tell you that now. I'll never do the toe. The only reason I'm going to do these ones up here is when I wear them in my docks in the winter, I like to fold the cuff over. So that's the only reason I will ever weave an end in, so, on my socks. Because I'm like that, I'm sorry. I just am. I'm just going to keep holding these up and waving them at you. But I really like them. I really like the pattern. I decided not to make them matchy because you lose a bit of yarn in the yarn management then. And do they really necessarily look or need to look matchy? No. Because of the patterning, I think it's okay. So yeah, really enjoyed that. That's the incidentally, I was about to say it's my second time doing the Hermione's every day, but it's not, it's the third, because I made a pair for my dad. But incidentally, I'm wearing my other pair of Hermione's everyday socks today, which was knit with Stranded Dyeworks, Oasis base in Ocean Rainbow. I would get my, I could. Ta-da! These were knit top as well. You can see a felted heel. Because that's how I like my socks. That was fish lips kisses if I hadn't mentioned. Okay, so my next finished object. Again, I haven't woven in any ends on this one. So, because there's quite a few. I will do it. And I think there's a drop stitch somewhere that needs fixing. But who cares? It's finished. Yeah, this is the right side. I have finished the Whiteout Shawl by Melanie Berg. It also needs washing, but I'm not going to do that till I've woven the ends in. Once I've convinced myself to do that. And this is fabulous. I love it. It's enormous. It is knit with some lace weight yarn, which was by Brooklyn Tweed from their Plains range, which is 100% American Rambouillet. I've written it big on my show notes. Excuse my terrible handwriting. But this is what it is. Which is all the sheep are farmed and raised all in the same area as where it's spun and dyed, so that's pretty cool. And this was knit on a 3.5mm, and the dark brown colour is called Portia, and the navy blue is Eclipse. And it's got some, it's knit on the bias. And it's got some lovely, lovely, lovely just garter stripy rows, which you can't really see the colours because they're very dark. But this is my Ravenclaw shawl, as I like to call it, and there's a bit of a lace where it's lace where it went wrong, and then there's lace that I kind of paid better attention to and learnt what it was telling me to do and how to read a chart properly. I'm not very good with charts. I do prefer written instructions when it comes to lace, which apparently is the complete opposite opinion to the rest of the world, but never mind, I enjoy it. But yes, going back to the fact that it's my Ravenclaw shawl, because I wanted a Harry Potter Ravenclaw house shawl, because apparently that's what knitters do, and I decided I wanted to join in on that. Apparently all knitters love Harry Potter. Not that fussed. But, you know, I wanted to join in. And in the books, Ravenclaw's colours is sort of like a dark blue and bronze. So you're not going to get bronze yarn, so I went with brown. And that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Several people, whilst I was knitting on this shawl, well, one person pointed at me and shouted body snatcher, and most other people said, that's a bit sombre for you, a bit sober colouring there, it's not your usual bright colours over here, you know, who are you on it and what have you done with the real one? But yeah, I mainly knit it for Ravenclaw Pride. And also I realised I didn't have anything that I could wear to an event that does happen sometimes. We don't want it to happen anytime soon, but it could happen where I would need a darker shawl to wear. Because none of those would be appropriate. If you can catch my drift. I don't really want to say it because it's a bit sad to knit something for that sort of occasion, but also I'm not someone who knits with neutrals or, you know, dark colours, so if it came to it I would have nothing, especially if it was for someone in my family who is quite sick and elderly who taught me to knit. I would like to wear some knitwear. Right, moving on from that very, very dark subject, but hey ho. Also, last week I mentioned about my scraps and my scrappagesness. We have some good news. I knit some squares into my blanket, 7 in fact, which means I can close almost the drawstring bag in which the scraps live. Well, the scraps that are waiting to go into the blanket, because I've still got the 2 boxes and a bit of the shelf dedicated to scraps that are in the blanket currently. But more on that later. So yeah, I made this bag with scraps. I made a skirt with this fabric because I'm cool. I love asterisk and obelisk. And yeah, but also since I've made those 7 squares, I've also put the scraps from my shawl that I've just shown you, Whiteout shawl, and the Opal, which is poking at the top there. So, well, 7 out, 2 in. That's a deficit of 5, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that so much because it means I can, actually I'm going to call that closed. I can close this bag. Good for me. I won't show you my blanket. I might show it another time when I've emptied that bag, quite possibly, because then you know, loads more in there. Woo! Okay, moving on to what's on my needles. I feel like singing it. Soz balls. Oh, Odnit, what are you like? Anyway, I am knitting from this fabulous book, Bestness, the Briochevron, and it's on the back cover. That's what I'm going to show you. I'm knitting this beauty, which I mentioned in my previous scrap video. Rather than whinging about it, I've actually cast it on, guys, and I'm nearly done, aren't I? You know, I think I'm done. Yeah? No, I don't think I can get away with that. So, this is my fabulous shawl. It is being knit with some Laxtons Limited Falkland, 100% Falkland 4-ply, and some stranded Dyeworks scraps. Hence, this is going to be my scrappy shawl. This is Paradise. I was going to say Paradise Merino. Doesn't make sense, does it? The Paradise MCM base from Stranded Dyeworks, and this is the Scuba colourway. It's pretty good colour, I felt, to start with. I don't know why I picked this up as being my first colour, and I'm now obsessed with turquoise and bear yarn. Who knew? I think I'm obsessed with bear yarn full stop, because I knit the she shrug. Say that when you're half cocked. Which is miles away. Otherwise I'd get up to show you, but it's green. Stop saying basically. But it is green with a bear yarn that has been speckled with green and purple and yellow. Yeah. You know, so there's a few other colours floating around in there, but it is a bear yarn, and I am becoming very obsessed. Well, bear yarn was, because that's quite similar colouring. I'm just terrible. So I'm becoming obsessed with bear yarns and bright colours. Who knew that I'd go for neutrals and colour? I did not see that one coming. You know, colour and colour is kind of my jam. So next time I see Laxtons Limited vending, I may just buy myself just, 10 skeins of it and just knock myself out. But this is how it's knitting up. You can just about see the chevron beginning to shape up. I should probably mention that the bear yarn is the main colour, and I'm using the blue as the contrast. The Scuba is the contrast at the moment. I'm probably going to do a couple more rows, or probably a couple more repeats. It's a 2-row pattern repeat. I mean, just looking at the picture, I've thrown the book on the floor. Just looking at the picture, it does look like a very simple garment, and it is. Well, not garment, shawl. It's so easy. Once you've done the repeat a couple of times, it'll be fine. I can do it without looking at the pattern, but I do have the pattern next to me just in case I forget which decrease to do or increase to do, whatever. So yeah, I'm really liking how it looks so far. This is why I'm becoming obsessed with blue and bear yarn. It looks so pretty. So Yay! And I think what I'm going to do with the scraps, I'm going to do a bit more, because in Stephen West's one, he does say in the pattern that when he did his stripes, the stripes range from 3 rows to 12 rows, just to give you an idea of sort of how he did it. But on the start and the finish of it, he's probably done about 12, they're probably both 12 rows. So I'm thinking, and it does look quite nice, so I'm thinking it'd probably be better if I could do a big chunk of this scuba. So that's what I want to do. Hang on, how many rows have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. So I'll probably do about 10 or 12 rows. I do think my brioche tension from previous projects is tighter, and I was going to go up a needle size, but then I decided not to, because I mean, this is a 100cm cable, well, needle, so it's probably from tip to tip, and it's a sizable distance, I think. But obviously once the chevrons start taking shape, I suppose it will come in a little, won't it? We'll see. And then, but brioche should block out, shouldn't it? If I did any blocking. Ha! Yeah, so I think that's everything I want to say about that. Yep, that's everything on the notes ticked off. My other whip is another pattern by Melanie Berg, because when I bought these 2 patterns of Melanie Berg, I've also bought a third one. What was the third one? Bought Transmute, Whiteout, and the Risen cardigan. She did a 3 for 2 offer at some point, and I took advantage of that because there was 4 patterns I wanted to knit from her sort of catalogue, if you will, in my queue. So I went, oh, I have 3 then. It's the back, this is the front. This is the Transmute jumper. I have twisted my cast on, so we're going to do a bit of sewing, put in a couple of stitches there to try and disguise it, but I'm sure it'll be fine. You know me and mistakes, we leave them in, guys. And this is knit with stranded Dyeworks in the Paradise base, MCN, it's not MCN Merino, MCN Merino Cashmere Nylon base. And the grey is Spook, and then the pink stripe, which also does have some grey chunks in, so you get this kind of effect where, there's a good place, where it just blends in with the Spook so well, so it looks really kind of patchy. It's very subtle for me, isn't it? And well, it's pink and grey. Oh my god, who are you, Obknit? You've knit navy blue and dark brown shawl, and then in the grey and pink jumper. Sorry guys, but it'll go with everything, won't it, really? It'll go with a lot of, I'm thinking it would go nicely with some skirts. Skirts I've made in particular. But yeah, there's Spook and there's Roadside Flower, that's the pink one. I haven't seen Roadside Flower up here in her shop for a while, but I have been shopping with Stranded for just over a year, so I think I do have a few colours sort of in the stash and in the scraps that she doesn't do very often. I have quite a few one of a kinds because I can't help myself when I see one of a kind written next to it. So yeah, I'm using my Corner of Craft stitch marker, the turquoise unicorn. Can't imagine why I picked that one. Which is just kind of keeping me company as I knit round and round and round, because I finished the increasing on the sleeves, and I think I've just got to do a few more rows because I read the pattern wrong as usual, but it was a little bit misleading. I'll give you that. It wasn't very straightforward. It wasn't knit this amount of rows and then this amount of rows. It was knit some rows, and then when you get to row number 13, do a stripe. Well, does that mean row 13 after the couple of rows, or does that mean count those? And I think I counted those within it, and it turns out it's not, because I'm not at the right point at the right time. So I'm going to knit a few more rows and then split for the sleeves, and is top down, which is my preferred method of jumper knitting. I have done bottom up with a cardigan. I did enjoy the sleeves with that because you just knit the sleeves and then join them on. But I do prefer top down because it means you get all the busy bit out the way, where all the sort of the shaping where you have to really think out the way, and then it's just plain sailing down, isn't it? But I'm going to do, I can't remember who came up with this method, but I think I saw it on Stranded's podcast. I think Amy mentioned it there, where you wait until you're a couple of inches, or maybe, is it like your hand span? Or, you know, you split for the sleeves and then you knit in the round on the body for a bit, and then you pick up on the sleeves and knit the sleeves, so that you're not constantly turning around a whole jumper as you knit the sleeves. I'll probably do this on DPNs because I've got the right sizes on DPNs, but I didn't do that on my laneway jumper by Vera Valamarki, which is more of a tunic and it does reach my knees, and I waited till I finished it all, finished the whole of the body, so I knit, you know, from my underarm to near enough my knees, and then I picked up the sleeves and then regretted it because I had to keep twisting this whole tunic around, and I think it did stretch it a bit. But it is also why on that jumper, if you ever see me wear it, the sleeves come to here whereas in the pattern they come to here. You can see why I gave up now, can't you? Yeah, it was not pleasant. Hey ho. It's a super warm garment, you know. I'm also using my sheepy stitch markers and some owls. I can't remember where the sheep were from. I got them out on Ravelry, but I can't remember the shop's name. And I don't know. And I'm using this one that I got free. It was a freebie, which came with a set that my brother gave me for Christmas with owls. That's like the main one, which I use as my end of round. And then I've got some other owls that little, and I've got like 4 of these little owls and one of those big owls. So yeah, that is that. Yeah, that's everything I want to say about that. That is all that's on my needles. I do have a hat that I started, but I was being impatient and I was knitting it with 6mm needles when the pattern specifies 7. I don't have 7, and I thought, oh, I'll give it a go, it might fit. No it doesn't. I got to work. We do 6mm needles and we do 8mm needles. Do we do 7mm? No. Grr. When it comes to circulars, but never mind. I shall have to purchase them elsewhere. And I've frogged it. It's knit with some alpaca that I got from Whitstable. I'll show you once I've cast it on again. It'll be easier, won't it? Because it's not actually technically cast on. It's a future knit. So yeah, it's not a lot on the needles really, because I wanted to cast on the Briochevron shawl as my kind of to do as I'm falling asleep knitting, because I found brioche really easy. Just gonna, you know, boast about that. I fancy some brioche. And I didn't really want to cast on some socks anytime soon, so I'm not sure what sock pattern I want to do next, because I'm not a big fan of plain socks. But yeah, and I've been working on my blanket, which has been quite nice. I took it to my parents last night and knit 2 squares there. Knit 1 square this morning, and I think Friday night I knit 2 squares, and Thursday I knit 3. That's not enough. I must have knit 1 on Friday. Yeah, so this week, moving on to life and stuff. So this week we went to well, not this week. Yeah, it was this week. Oh, I feel like ages ago. We went to Canterbury, or Canterbuzza, as I like to say, because I'm so cool. We went to Canterbury and we stayed there the night at a hotel that apparently we got a really good deal on. But I wouldn't recommend it because they put us, I won't say where it was, but they put us in a room. But I suppose because we got a cheap deal, I don't know, it might have been on some kind of you know, lastminute.com type thing. I don't take part in the booking process, otherwise we wouldn't go anywhere if I took part in the booking process. Because I would rather stay at home. Because, you know, I'm like that. And yeah, in that room you could hear the toilet being flushed by the room above. The fan in our bathroom was really loud, really annoying, and didn't turn off until long after you turned it off. The tea and coffee making facilities were in the wardrobe, which was fine, until I realised I had to take everything out to make the tea because there's no plug in there. Thanks, guys. That was helpful. The windows were interesting because the windows that had a stopper on it, because there was like 2 layers to the windows. There was like the outer old worldy window, you know, sort of old wooden and whatever, and then there was a modern one with plastic on it. And the plastic one that you could prop open was on the one where the oldie worldy one was sealed, so you couldn't open it. Whereas the one with the oldie worldy one that you could open and actually get the fresh air with, the plastic one didn't have any stoppers on it, so it was stupid. I don't know. But it was apparently cheap enough, and it was just for one night, so it wasn't too bad. Places we visited and I would recommend highly. The Black Griffin. Every time we go to Canterbury, we always check out the Black Griffin because they got a good selection of beers, apparently. And yes, I said beer really strangely because that's an inside joke, and I probably shouldn't. I drank cider because I'm a cool kid. Old Rosie was my poison that day. It was the only thing really on tap cider wise. And I'm loath to buy bottle ciders now because they're just I like proper cider, you know, scrumpies, and I like still, and I like it to taste like apple juice. So yeah, we love the Black Griffin. We also visited Tiny Tim's tea rooms, which was fabulous. I really recommend that. If you like scones, go there because they are enormous. They're so good. Oh, definitely going to hit it up next time we go. We're only about like a 45-minute hour train ride from Canterbury, and we do go there occasionally if we fancy going somewhere a bit different. And so next time I'll go there. I had an amazing chocolate orange hot chocolate. So good. And they also were serving teas. I'm currently drinking one of the teas they serve, but it's a loose tea by the Kent and East Sussex Tea Company, and it's apple, Kentish apple. It's so good. I love the flavour of apple. And when we were there, we walked in to Tiny Tim's tea room, and there was this whole wall of teas, and they do advertise that they've got hundreds of teas. I recognise that packaging. That's the Kent and East Sussex Tea Company packaging. Ooh. But then I didn't drink any of their tea because I fancied hot chocolate because it was grey and miserable and rainy. Perfect summer's day in England. We had dinner at the Corner House, which was amazing. Oh, it was so good. There was not a part of it we did not enjoy. It was so good. It's lovely. And we went to the Goods Shed on the way home. Now, the Goods Shed is just up from the station. I suppose it's the shed that used to hold the goods in it. And it has a butcher's, a fishmonger's, a greengrocer's, a cheeseman, a wine man, a beer man, and like a pastry man. And there's also like a bar and restaurant that's all using produce from the Goods Shed, and it's all about, you know, fresh food and everything, and it's full of hipsters. But it's fine. It was lovely. And the food we got from the potatoes. Oh my god. When we were eating, we made beef stew with everything that we got from there. So we got some beef and some green beans, some potatoes, carrots, I think, onions, beef stewy things. And as we were eating it, I was sitting there going, I might just occasionally travel down to Canterbury just to go to the Goods Shed and buy these potatoes because they are amazing. They had flavour. I've not had potatoes with actual flavour to them. Oh, it was so good. So that's my recommendations on Canterbury. That and the Steamer Cook Shop, I think it's called. Steamer Cook Shop. It's a cook shop that's there. I think they are a chain, so I'm pretty sure we've been to the same shop but in Brighton, and we always like going for a wander there. And they had a really bad joke on the wall, and I read it aloud. It was hilarious because I love bad jokes, but I can't remember them. I can't remember any jokes. It's a family thing. My mum can't. She can't do jokes either. We just can't remember them. But we love really bad ones. It's just women in my family can't tell jokes. We just don't have that comedic ability. And what else did we do? I went to the sewing shop. Bought far too much fabric, but we won't talk about that. Bought some Christmas fabric, some cupcake fabric, and some Halloween fabric that glows in the dark. So like, I need to do some sewing. So I haven't sewed at all this week. Actually, no, I did do a bit. Did I? No, I didn't. I didn't do any sewing this week because we were in Canterbury, so I couldn't. That's my job for this week. It's my Tuesday, Wednesday job. Woo! Yeah. And because of that fabric purchase and a previous fabric purchase and another previous fabric purchase, and I haven't sewn anything up since these 3 fabric purchases, so I really need. Well, actually, no, I've got a dress that just needs hemming. And I've got another dress that's all cut out, and I'm pretty sure the pieces, back pieces, have been ripped, so I might have to buy some, I suppose, is it freezer paper? So I can redo it. Oh dear. Only one odd knit. Yeah, so, yeah, since all these fabric purchases, I did make a purchase from Stranded Dyeworks. Not on her last update, it was her update before, because I did it whilst I was at work on my phone, and it was the first time I've ever done a purchase on my phone, ever, but it was through Etsy, which I've signed up with in the past, and they have all my details, I suppose, so all I had to do was click buy now. So I've got 2 mini skein sets and a skein of koi. I've not bought, actually I'll show you because it's right in front of me. I'm probably not going to do like, this is what my yarn advantage. I probably won't do stash enhancements regularly. You know, I won't do this very often, but just because I've never bought mini skeins before. So I bought 2 sets, naturally. This is the English Country Garden, and this is Swim Gala. And I did notice that this one, oh, there's her card. I did notice this one is very similar to Scuba. But hey ho. I'm not going to put them in my blanket. What I'm going to do is probably knit some super scrappy socks, because this is very little bobbins colours, isn't it? All pastels and pretty. So I'll probably do some socks in that. Sorry for the crinkling. To sort of, you know, as a homage to Danny of Little Bobbins. And then this one, I'm not sure. Just everything with bare yarn. Bare yarn and this mini skein set for a shawl on the bias. Or a dotted raise. It's like, I need another dotted raise. You can't just have one dotted raise, you need 2. So, yeah. But these are more me, I think, than this set. Although that green is very me. And possibly, well, this one does remind me of jellyfish that's in my dotted raise. If any of you have seen that, it is on my Ravelry page. And that is very similar to the contrast colour in my, my main colour even, in the Shushi Shrug. Very similar. But I suppose this one is very my mum. This is my mum's colours. And my mum wouldn't wear these colours, but when I say they're my mum's colours, is when I learnt to crochet, my mum taught me, and she taught me in the colours that she used to crochet with when she was a teenager, which was a hot, hot fuchsia pink and a lovely deep purple. And she used to make just granny squares doing that. That's all she did, was make granny squares and just put them in a box or in a bag and just leave them. So all she did was make the squares and did nothing with them. So that, when I say that, that's why it always makes me think of my mum, because my mum used to do it with those two colours. So yeah, but my mum always wears black. It's just, oh, she doesn't now actually. She's a bit better. She does wear blue because she's a Chelsea fan. Sorry to all those football fans out there. I don't like football. I'm not fussed. Sorry. Alright. Show notes. Done. Oh yeah, I was going to say. So I'm on a self-imposed yarn and fabric diet now because I have far too much and to save my pennies. I have enough to keep me busy for a really long time, so I should be okay. And then I'll probably just go back, well, once it's scaled down and I can fit the stash back into the hutch, because I can't fit the fabric in the stash in the hutch anymore. The fabric stash is now under the chair that I'm sitting on, hidden behind a cloak of yarn, hidden underneath, because, well, I'm sitting on a chair, and on the back of my chair is my blanket, and it's my big mustard yellow cardigan, and then it's the complete cock-up I made of Frida's flowers, if any of you know what that is. So hidden behind all of that, underneath, this is why it's covered in yarn, is to hide the fact that my fabric doesn't fit in the allocated space that is for stash, fabric and yarn wise. So we're just keeping quiet about that for now. So once I can fit all stash back into the hutch, ignoring acrylic mountain, because acrylic mountain is allowed to stay on the wardrobe, that's fine, and in a pile next to the wardrobe because it doesn't fit on the wardrobe. But also future knitting wise, I think this is why I've only got a couple of projects on the needles, is as soon as the August bank holiday comes up, which is, or will be August the 28th, because I don't work Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Sundays, because, you know, jobs is hard to find, yo. Yeah, so I should get like a good break from work, and there are a lot of, well, I say a lot of babies. There's 2 babies that I'm going to knit for. One's being born the 19th, well, one's due the 19th of December and the other's due like the 2nd of January. And then we've got a co-worker who we're having bets on, because there's been a few warning signs, shall we say, but yeah, so I would like to do some of them, although they would probably be due, you know, probably Mayish time, I imagine, or June. It would, you know, it would be a while away. Anyway, so yeah, I'm dedicating that bank holiday weekend as baby knit weekend. I'm going to knit as many or as much of jumpers as I can. I have got a load of baby jumpers that I have started and not finished that were for another co-worker. She, not a baby, but the co-worker is the mum. She had a little girl last year, and I knit her like 4 jumpers, 4 hats, 5 pairs of booties for when the baby was born, and didn't make started loads of stuff. I've started so many things. I've got 2 cardigans, 3 cardigans and a jumper that's been started and not finished for her, and just not finished it. Didn't give her anything for Christmas. The little one, I gave the mum some stuff for Christmas, but I didn't give her anything for Christmas. I didn't give her anything for her first birthday, so we do feel a bit like a selfish whatsit. Especially as they, like, there's one particular jumper I made them, it was green, that the little one, it's her favourite jumper, and there's so many photos of the little one in that jumper, and I feel so guilty because, and I've seen, like, I've bumped, because they live in the village with me, I've bumped into them like completely on the off chance, and the little one's been wearing the jumper. So it's like, or one of the hats that I made them. So it's a bit like, they're so knit worthy. Like, little one is so knit worthy. She totally deserves it because she loves it. She absolutely loves wearing hand knits. She's only 1 year old and she loves wearing hand knits. So I really should make her something, shouldn't I? So this Christmas she's getting a blanket, because the things that I've started and not finished, she's going to be too big for now. You know, because I was knitting 0 to 6 months and 6 to 1, or 6 months to 1 year sizes in the cardigans and jumper that I've already started. So she's getting a blanket, which I've already crocheted. I might show you next time. With the leftovers, I will be making a unicorn and matching fairy, so she can enjoy that. She can have a proper birthday, Christmas present this year. And I've got a few sort of skeins, or not skeins, but balls of yarn, wool, whatever you want to call it, in acrylic mountain, that I've picked out that will be suitable, because the people that are having babies this year, the ones other side of Christmas, they won't be finding out the sex of the baby. So I've got a few sort of, you know, heavily variegated acrylic yarn that I've just bought over the years, and I'm going to be doing like a couple of pink and a couple of blue, and just keep them in reserve until the baby's born. And once it's born, I can send them whichever. I mean, the one I'm gonna have to box up and send, because they're old school friends, and I haven't seen them for years, but I did offer, and yeah, so I thought I would just box up and send it to them. And I thought I won't send until the baby's born, because you never know, you know. So it's just best to wait until everything's safe and sound and everyone's happy. So yeah, so that's probably what I'll do. Just wait until baby's born, and then if they want pinks and purples, I can chuck some pinks and purples in the box, or if it's blues and greens, I can chuck some blues and greens in the box. And then the other one is sister-in-law, I suppose, is the best way to describe her. It's my boyfriend's brother's wife, so sister-in-law. So I'm going to be an auntie. Super excited. So yeah, and I've got a box that I'm planning to fit. It's quite big, actually. Oh, I'll just move my amazing sheep drawing out of the way. I didn't do that, by the way. It's a Gemma Keith original. I've got some Gemma Keith prints up there. That's my original. One of my originals. I've got a penguin original as well. This is the box that I'll be filling up for sister-in-law. I'm probably going to I want to try quilting, so I might do a quilt as well. Oh, my telephone has just buzzed. So I think that means it's time. It is time for me to stop, because I've got apple pie to finish. Like, to finish making, not finish eating. Oh, Although once it's finished cooking, I eat it. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. I hope I can keep this as a regular, semi-regular thing, and not just give up and not do my usual where I record, don't upload, and then delete like I did, because I have done that since the last video went up. Spots. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks for listening to me wittering on about nonsense. And hopefully I will have a finished jumper next time. I won't. I'm not that magical. Well, maybe. Oh no, I've got to cast on some socks there because I haven't got any knitting for lunchtime at work tomorrow. Ooh. Oh, I could take my Briochevron. It's not very big at the minute, is it? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. That on my blanket and curl up in the corner. Happy knitting, and I'll see you soon. Bye.